In this episode, we're going to go over 3 questions that you can ask yourself if you don't enjoy your sport anymore. Hey there, I'm Eli Strawman, a performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. Question number 1 is you want to ask yourself, do I really not enjoy my sport, or do I not enjoy something about my sport? Now, what I mean by that is, most of the time when I'm working with a player who is not enjoying their sport anymore, it's not actually the sport that they don't like. It's typically something about the sport, like the environment they're in, the anxiety or fear that they're playing with, the negative self-talk that they experience every day, right? So they're just constantly beating themselves up. So the sport itself has become a focal point for fear, anxiety, self-doubt, negativity, and a lot of other negative emotions. When that happens, it's natural for us to no longer enjoy the sport. Because why would we want to enjoy something that is just only a point of negativity for us, right? So that's the first question you want to ask yourself. And the reason that you want to ask yourself that question is because you don't want to quit your sport without working to manage any of these challenges. If it isn't, or if it is that you just don't enjoy your sport anymore, right? Then it's perfectly okay to step away. And I've worked with players where we talked through all the different challenges that they were dealing with. I can remember this one basketball player I was working with who was playing over in Europe, and he and I met for about 6 weeks. And during that time, we talked through a lot of the anxiety he was experiencing. We talked through a lot of the pressure that he was feeling, and he worked on managing all of that. Once he worked on managing that, he still made the decision that he was ready to step away. And that's a very empowering place to get to as an athlete, because you're not making the decision because of these other factors. You realize that, you've worked through these other factors and you are able to make the right decision for yourself. So you first want to truly examine, right? Try to be as objective as possible and ask yourself, do I not enjoy the sport itself, or are there other factors at play that are causing me to not enjoy the sport anymore? And that brings me to question number 2. And question number 2 is, how can I work through the factors that are causing me to not enjoy my sport anymore? Now, you may be wondering, well, what am I supposed to do if I just don't enjoy my sport? Well, the honest answer, that I have for you is that if you don't believe that there are all these other factors that are inhibiting you from enjoying your sport, it might be time to step away, right? And again, that's an okay thing for you to decide. But what we want to do is examine what could be causing you to not enjoy your sport anymore. Once we identify those, then the next question is, how do I work on them? Now, this is going to be, relatively be based on what's causing you to not enjoy your sport anymore, and also what your circumstances are like. So for example, let's say that you're dealing with a lot of anxiety and you're dealing with a lot of fear. Those are 2 of the most common mental challenges that I see athletes faced with when they aren't enjoying their sport anymore. If that's the case, then we would want to work on managing anxiety, and then we would want to work on reducing your fear. Now, managing fear and anxiety are 2 of the main mental challenges that I help athletes with in one-on-one coaching, and they are also 2 of the main challenges that are worked on within the Confident Competitor course. Now, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching or the course I have available, I've put links to those in the description below. But you can also work on this on your own, right? Work through your anxiety on your own, work through your fear on your own. But we want to get to work on managing the fear and anxiety or any other challenge that you're currently experiencing. Now, it's also natural for fear and anxiety, along with self-doubt, perfectionism, to be not necessarily caused by, but, be a big byproduct of dealing with a negative environment. This could be that you're dealing with toxic teammates. It could be that you deal with a negative coach. Maybe the team environment just isn't very good. If that's the case, you absolutely want to work on your own anxiety, fear, or any other challenge you're experiencing mentally, because even if you do switch teams, that's still going to follow you, right? Because you're going to follow you wherever you go. So the current challenges you're experiencing need to be worked through. But if you have the option Sometimes it is good to step back and switch teams or find yourself a new environment where you can thrive. And I've worked with players who were working on their anxiety and fear, and while they were doing so, they found themselves a new team as well, where the coach was more positive, right? They connected with the coach a little bit more. They got along with the teammates better. And so that also helped them enjoy their sport more. We never want to make going to another team the first option for us, unless, the situation you're in is just terrible, right? And again, a lot of this is based on your current circumstance. We never want to make that, though, be our end-all be-all solution, because there are likely factors within your own mind, like the fear, anxiety I was mentioning, that are contributing to it. But that second question is, how can I work on managing these other factors? Whether the other factors are the coach I'm playing for, the teammates I'm playing with, or they're more internal factors. How can I work on managing them? And then question 3 is, you want to ask yourself, how can I bring joy to the game? Now, this is one of my favorite questions, because as we're working on managing anxiety, as we're working on managing fear, even if we switch teams, we want to practice bringing joy and bringing excitement to what we're doing. And at the core, when we're talking about enjoying your sport versus not enjoying your sport, there are many, many things that you could enjoy or not enjoy about your sport. And we want to figure out what those are, right? Do you enjoy working hard? We'll bring a little bit more excitement to the act of training and to practicing. Do you enjoy competing, right? Bring more of that joy to competing. Now, what do I mean by bringing this joy? It all has to do with your attitude. So as we're working through any challenge that is currently holding you back and keeping you from enjoying yourself, we also want to work on switching our attitude. Instead of waiting for some magical spark where you all of a sudden have this, love and passion for your game back, we want to work on slowly bringing that back to the game. And the way we do that is not waiting for us to play well, not waiting for our coaches to be more positive, not waiting for us to feel no anxiety or fear whatsoever. We want to start having a better attitude as we show up to the field or court. And this is a very difficult thing to do, right? There's no sugarcoating that. If you're not enjoying yourself anymore, you're not enjoying your sport anymore, there are reasons for that. But the question here is, how can I bring more joy to the game if that's what I want to do, right? And I would imagine you're listening to this episode, you're watching this episode. If you're not enjoying your sport right now, you want to enjoy your sport again. So this is where you have to try to work on bringing a better attitude, bringing more enjoyment to the game, no matter what's going on, right? Even if you aren't playing great, still bring that good attitude. What's going to end up happening is, as you work through the challenges that are holding you back right now and keeping you from enjoying yourself, as you work through that and then pair it with aiming to have a more enjoyable attitude and having more fun just for yourself when you go play, you're going to start seeing this fun and this love come back to the game for you. But it's not an accident, right? It's not going to happen just, magically for you. You have to work at it. And so I have a bonus question for you. And the bonus question is, do you really want to bring the enjoyment back into your sport? Because working through anxiety, fear, managing self-doubt, managing a negative coach, and then especially bringing joy to the game is difficult. But if you want to enjoy your sport again, if you want to bring that love back to the game, you can absolutely do it, but it's going to take work. But if you put in that work, you're going to find that passion come back into your sport for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos each week on sports psychology and mental training. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching or any of the programs I have available, I've put links to those in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.